Did we start yet? Good, dude. I just
No.
shit myself. Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
welcome to Out of the Draft Podcast, Season 3, Episode 14. Uh, welcome. Did we do one last week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We did? I can't remember. Anyways, how's your week been?
I go.
Good.
we're good. Still alive, living the dream.
Still alive, still alive. I feel that. Well, we have a. Oh, what is that? We have a lot to talk about, especially over the Rain 600 weekend and everything else that happened over the weekend. I'm sure if you don't know, the most popular driver made a dumb mistake. So, as you can tell from the title, that is the first thing that you see. Either way, let's get right into the truck race because that was the only race that actually ran on its time slot. So, did any of y'all watch it actually?
I watched part of it.
Who won?
Ben Rhodes.
Ben Rhodes. Yeah, I think I watched a little bit of it. It was all right. It wasn't nothing spectacular, but it wasn't nothing bad.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I think it was pretty decent for a truck race. It wasn't too wreck festy.
Yeah.
A lot of comers and goers. I mean, Ben was literally like 18th at the end of stage one. He was so bad, but they fixed his truck up and obviously got the win. Heim and Hocevar was definitely the best two trucks.
Yeah, especially Hocevar. He was really quick on the long runs.
And Heim was so good on the short run. Like, it was like 15 laps. He'd pull away about lap 16 to 19. Hocevar finally got to him. And then he was able to just pass quickly and then end up winning the stages because of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, there wasn't too much action per se. Other than, Zane Smith getting spun out on the front stretch, collecting Haley Deegan. She was running pretty decent after the first stage. She actually got up there and started mixing it up with everybody, but of course she got involved into another accident. I swear she's always in the worst spot at the worst times. I mean, you do create your own luck in racing, but she definitely has terrible luck when it comes to that stuff. But other than that, as soon as Ben Rhodes was able to get in the top five, you can tell his car was better than the rest of the field at that point. And that was late in stage 3. And then when he got the lead, there was pretty good for him and his car. So he's able to just drive away from Heim, Josefar. Who was the other person? Dean Thompson. That was the guy. And Grant Enfinger at the end of there. He kind of snuck into that top 5 mix. But overall, I give the race like a 6 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree. It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too exciting, but it also wasn't like a snooze fest.
Right. Moving on to Xfinity. I did not see anything at all. And there was a lot of opportunities to try and see it, and I didn't see any.
Yeah.
They only ran like 20 laps, so and then they came back.
Yeah, I watched the first part in the morning.
What time did they even start initially that first time?
12. No,
12.
11.
No,
Yeah,
it was
11.
10.
Wow.
Well, 10, 11.
Yeah. 11
10 for you,
EST,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I watched the first 20, 40 laps until they that stage 1, which I'm pretty sure Ty Gibbs won, and you really couldn't tell much. It was misting. It was like the heavy mist that stayed around for the whole weekend, really. So cars were slipping and sliding everywhere. All guys were slipping and sliding. Herps, I know, slipping and sliding. It was entertaining to watch. I'm not gonna lie, but everybody was just feeling the cars out, and I guess the one notable thing that did happen besides Ty Gibbs winning stage one was when they pitted right before heavy mister coming down. They red flagged until after the Cup race was Allgaier, Custer, and Sheldon Creed collided on pit road, resulting in Cole Custer having to pit once they finally went back to green at the end of the Cup race, and he made his way through to finish P3, and Creed misjudged it. I think his spotter cleared him all the way to the grass, and he was definitely not clear all the way out to the grass. There's 2 cars above him. Got Creed. It really wasn't that significant, but Creed did apologize. There's no hard feelings. But that's all I saw. I knew at the end it was a fuel race, so I under Nemechek and Allgaier were swapping the lead like crazy. It felt like Allgaier saved fuel and who could save more. And Allgaier eventually saved enough fuel and got the first win for Junior Motorsports in the season.
For sure. That's exactly what happened. I was pretty impressed with Carson there in the 77. He was running pretty decent. And I know Spire gets a lot of their stuff for JRM, and that's a good vehicle. But still, just being in that car, you can tell he has talent. Just the way he was able to maneuver around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I think that's his best track. I mean, go through the Truck Series, that's where he dominates every race he's been there. He just doesn't pull it off. But yeah, I was really happy with Justin. I'm a big Justin guy. I think he's really cool. So I was happy to see what I saw, and I'm glad that Austin Hill didn't win. So
yeah, Carson Hocevar is just he's a little too aggressive. You know,
yeah.
The thing he had at Martinsville, intentionally hooking somebody at Martinsville, it's not as dangerous as it is the Cup cars and what Elliott did.
Yeah, he got suspension, but it was literally the same thing. And well, you know, when we get to Elliott's suspension, I do want to talk about like how the inconsistency has been. But I think because of how close Bubba's and his was, I think they had to set the same, penalty for that. Well, I guess we can go ahead and move to the Cup race because congrats to JRM and all that. But first, the Cup race got delayed until Monday. They didn't even, in my opinion, I feel like they didn't try to even run it on Sunday because they called it really early. Now, obviously, I don't see what whether people see. They're smarter than I am. But I felt like that was so early that they got off air at 7, and they were supposed to be on air till 10. So that just goes to show, like,
yeah, that is pretty early.
Like, they didn't even try. Like, in my opinion, I feel like they didn't. And then, I guess with the analysts that they have, they can't really just, have a good rain delay series because, Clint Boyer's sitting there yelling while he's sitting down, but he can't yell in the booth. Type of responses, and of course Tony Stewart's a freaking doornail, just like but I guess it's why they called it early. I don't know why they would.
They're probably looking at they probably call. Are you talking about the broadcast or the race, like in general? That they called. Do you think they didn't even give a chance to start the race that night?
Yeah. So there's a window. Like there was rainfall right as they're calling it, right? But right after that window, it was pretty clear for the next 3 hours.
Well, I think Pockers did tweet at like 8 that it was still a heavy mist that was staying around. I think that was also a concern because of all the humidity, and they'd have this mist, this persistent mist, and this fog that they maybe even if it maybe wasn't raining, they'd have this fog, and it would just be so hard to see around the track with spotters and all that. Mostly at the night with the lights off the track, but I think it was like a persistent mist all through the night. I think Pockers tweeted something like 8 o'clock that it was like still raining or misting at the track. That would be like really hard to get started, and I think everybody was just tired. No reason to have the fans sit there and then probably disappoint them. Just have them sit and get soaked.
Yeah, and then that's also why the Xfinity Series got moved up from 12 to 11 was because of the Cup race. So it was supposed to run at 12 on Monday.
Yeah.
And then the Cup race was like, oh, we're here now. So and they pushed that up another hour. And congrats to all the Fox camera guys. I mean, they were there literally from 9 a.m. to dark that day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, yeah, but they still seem to not capture anything when it comes race time. So
I mean, but
I think
they
I
may.
think
It could be just the directors, like when they're doing the broadcast in that room. You know, they're not paying attention to the bigger screen. I personally think the camera guys are doing what they should.
well, yeah, right. It's just we're not being shown what
Yeah,
we want to be shown.
yeah.
But
I mean, we literally had that one dude in the booth, the comedian or whatever,
yeah.
and we literally stopped watching the race to look at this guy's face. No offense, that does not bring any product to Fox. That isn't. No one cares about him. I'm sorry, but go make your old dude commercials from Dale Jr. Okay, it's fine. I don't care, but don't just sit here and ruin the race because they. Okay, do a side by side. That's okay. Fox never does side by sides whatsoever. You go to NBC, wait in 3 weeks. We're gonna see 4 side by sides in the same TV screen. Okay, that's just who they are. I don't understand why Fox is, we can make cartoons, but the moment we can put 2 things on the screen, no, we can't do that. And then
I think even the analysts were talking about that during the race, even as shitty as they are sometimes.
yeah,
They were talking about it like they got all this. I don't know really. They took like a little shot at it about like the cartoon characters. I don't really remember who it was, but
yeah,
they did have. I think the broadcast was honestly probably like the best of the year. I think
yeah.
a lot of people
I thought
liked
it was
it.
pretty good.
They also came up with one. I don't remember what the graphic was, but I think we were talking about it when we saw like the one like crazy
The
graphic. It was like the
75
line.
Yeah,
No, that was trash.
Yeah.
That graphic was trash.
yeah,
not
it was
the-
stupid.
the side by side of like when the caution came out between Byron and Blaney, how close they were.
Yeah, the HD
I thought that was
quality
kind
on
of
that.
cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Uh,
But I thought it was a good broadcast.
I thought it was decent.
It felt so good on like Fox. Like Big Fox is like again, it's I don't know. I feel like Big Fox compared to FS1 is just such a big difference compared to like NBC to what was NBCSN or even USA. Like they all felt somewhat the same to me, but Fox compared to FS1 is just such a big difference. And
Yeah,
I feel like it's like a turn off kind of. Like I hate watching it on FS1 because it feels so crappy. Like the race feels so much less of a deal.
well, maybe like they have different directors depending on the channel. Like let's say if football's on Fox, they're not there at the NASCAR race. They're over there, with the football, right? That honestly could be the reason. And if that's the case, that's wrong. It should be. You should have the same style of broadcast, no matter what channel you're on. But that's just me.
I feel like even the quality is absolutely trash on FS1. How it looks, it's disgusting, and the stupid ass cartoons look so much stupider.
Dude, can I talk about? I loved when the grid was on the top of the screen and not right in the middle. Like on the side of the screen. I think that is the most annoying thing because half the time you can't even see it. Like I'm like, I don't know. It's just I love it when it like went across the top.
I kind of like it better because I can
scrolling
see more
grid.
positions and the intervals and all that. I kind of like
That's
it.
what the
to the side
scrolling
more.
grid was for.
Yeah, like
Use that, just let it scroll.
yeah, I don't know. I just maybe that's just me being, coming up through the early 2010s, right?
Good old days.
And so it just
The good old days.
yeah, when they brought the box, I just thought it was weird. But
Yeah, I feel like it also, with it on the side, you get to see 20 drivers at once, and you get to see more chance. You get to see where your favorite driver is.
I guess
That's
true,
really all.
but-
When I'm watching the race, like I honestly can't wait for my favorite driver to retire because it's like I don't have to focus on I can focus on the race because mostly in the race I'm focused on where he is. I'm getting pissed off that he's running fucking 30th in the first stage. Like how bad SHR was. And
Yeah, good
even them
lord, he
cheating doesn't help
dropped
them,
like a rock. Yeah.
I think he. I forget what they said. Like he was so loose or something.
Dude,
They probably because they're expecting a night
Briscoe,
race. Probably.
I swear to goodness, they don't even put that car fully together. Until
He's slower than BJ McLeod, bro. That is
dude,
pathetic, dude.
I don't know what's wrong with him at the beginning of every race. Like, he is literally an Rick Ware Racing car. I swear. I don't know what it is. And it's not like they're doing anything good with the penalty. I mean, whatever you're putting in there, still don't do it. Not only just because of the penalty, because it's not working. So,
About the first race either that they've sucked total donkey.
Yeah, I'm like, God.
Like I can remember Fontana, they were way half a lap behind anybody.
Yeah, they were on
10
7
laps.
cylinders for the first half of the race. I was
Yeah,
like, how's it even happen?
SHR and Chase Briscoe. We'll get to Chase Briscoe and probably SHR later, but they're a joke.
I guess we can talk about the what led to the Chase Elliott and Hamlin thing. So Chase Elliott stayed out for a little bit on a green flag pit stop. The moment he pitted, the lap that he came out, there was a caution. So he stayed out so he was able to get more track position, so on and so forth. Just a few other guys stayed out as well. There's more guys who pitted, so they were behind him. Going to this second restart, so there was a restart before that. A caution happened, and then Hamlin's behind Elliott with this caution. And then coming out of 2 on the restart, they get 3 wide. Hamlin gets in the side of the 9 coming out of 2, but they didn't notice it on the broadcast because they're worried about Almirola hitting the wall right before that.
Worry about the 30th place car rather than the top 10.
Yeah, it's normal, but when Stewart's in the booth, they only care about SHR. I swear to God. Well,
he does sorry for interrupting me. He does a good job in off focusing on SHR.
Yeah, but the rest of them,
everybody else is sucking him off. Yeah,
Mike is like, oh, what do you think of your boy out there? And I'm like, who cares about that?
Tony doesn't even care. He's up there for professional reasons. At the end of the race, when he saw most of them were in the top 10 because everybody chose to wreck out, and all that.
Yeah.
But then he gives them a little hey, look at my guys up there. But he's not the whole race. He's not talking about it. And then when Harvick was falling back to 30th and coming back up, he's like, hey, look at your boy there. Let's keep it somewhat professional. All right, let's put all the owners out of the way, all the ownership out of the way, all the favoritism out of the way. Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
So my friend, who just started watching NASCAR a couple of years ago, he thinks that if you're an owner, you should be in the booth at all, just for quality reasons. Like he said, I'm new to this, so I don't want to see an owner be in the booth, just for there's always going to be a little bit of favoritism, no matter how you slice it. That's natural, right? But going back to the next lap or 2 or whatever it was, Hamlin finally gets under Chase Elliott again, coming out of 4. Hamlin doors him into the wall this time. Elliott decides to take a left, right rears him right into the fence, head on. Right in the middle of the quad oval. And the rest is history. Hamlin on the radio was like, he should be parked. Unfortunately, NASCAR couldn't do that because his car was already messed up. So he had a DNF anyways. And I think, so I will say this. If he was able to continue, I don't think NASCAR would have let him. Okay? But I do not think he would have got a suspension. Does that make sense? So, if he was able to continue,
I agree. I don't think the suspension would have followed, but I think there would have been
a point deduction. Yes,
a point deduction.
Yes, I agree. But I will say, Damon, I don't know if you're paused or what's going on, but so I think. So if he doesn't DNF right there, and I think this is any driver, I'm not just saying Chase Elliott, okay?
No, I agree. Yeah,
I think making them sit out in that race and a points deduction is equivalent to a suspension, okay?
Right.
And so if you ever right rear someone, don't. First off, that's not racing. But even left rearing someone, I don't think it's okay. Going back to okay, I do want to talk about this. So NASCAR's inconsistency with this rule. Okay, Kyle Busch, 2010, I think it was Darlington. Okay, him, Harvick, and Boyer come out of 4. Harvick and Boyer hit into Kyle Busch coming out of 4. Boyer spins into the inside row and crossing the checkered. The race is over. Kyle Busch right rears Harvick straight into the wall. Okay, the same exact way of how it was done, but it was more obvious.
The race wasn't over though.
The race wasn't over? I swear that was a change.
No, they still had like 5 or 6 laps to go.
Okay.
What, Darlington 20 something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
It wasn't over yet. No.
Well, so anyway, he right rears Harvick.
Getting to that though.
Yeah. He right rears Harvick. Okay. The same incident. 0 penalty. Okay. Same thing. Carl Edwards, 2012. Right rears Keselowski at Atlanta, makes him flip into the grandstands. Nothing. Same later that year. Xfinity or Nationwide. Right rears him at Gateway. Absolutely no penalty. Okay, so there.
Who else didn't get a penalty?
Who else?
Jeff Gordon for taking out Clint Boyer.
Well, so here's my point. Do I think you should get a penalty? Absolutely. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's not racing. I don't. I'm literally wearing Chase Elliott gear just to show who I'm with, just to make sure that I'm not going to get all these haters coming after me. Chase Elliott should have been penalized. Should be sitting out this week. I agree. Okay. But in my opinion, my personal opinion, if you're going to do that, I only think he got a suspension because of how close Bubba's incident and his incident was. In my opinion. Because Bubba only got suspended because he crossed 4 lanes across the racetrack just to wreck Kyle Larson. Okay? That's wrong. They're both wrong, don't get me wrong. But he literally went from the top all the way to the bottom and wrecked the guy. The difference between Elliott's and Hamlin's situation, he was already getting wrecked. And then he was just like, all right, well, I'm taking you out. Okay? Type of thing. So that's why I think the only reason why he got a suspension is because of how close Bubba's incident and his incident was.
Maybe. Possibly. I don't know, though.
I feel like they've cracked down on it lately. Like,
yeah, but
it's clear and I don't know. It's clear and obvious what happened, and mostly with how dangerous these cars are, you can't let that happen, or it's going to continue to the next week if Denny retaliates.
Yeah, but whose fault's that? Is that the driver's fault?
That's no, but they know the car is unsafe, and they're the ones in the car taking the risk. They should know to not be doing that.
I know,
you
but
saw what happened to Kurt. You saw what happened to Bowman.
Yeah,
you shouldn't take a risk on one of your fellow competitors.
No, I'm not saying what he did was right. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, that is not the driver's fault. If they decide to wreck someone, that is not their fault if they get hurt. They sign up for this. Okay?
To wreck somebody and then they get hurt, that's on the driver.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
They're intentionally wrecking. You should know, it doesn't matter how safe the car is. You can be the safest car in the world. You crash into a wall head on at 180. That wall can be made of fucking pillows. It's going to hurt.
What do you think football players... Wait. What do you think football players do?
That's their job, is to hit people. That's not drivers' jobs.
Yes, it is.
To crash people is not their job. It's to cross the stripe first.
The safety part of it.
If it's to hit people, why is helmet to helmet illegal then?
Because it's dangerous.
Bingo.
I don't understand what the point is.
The point is it's a problem that you do it, but it shouldn't be the driver's fault that it's unsafe.
They're choosing to do it. It's not their problem that they're unsafe. It's that it's unsafe. It's their problem. It's on them for doing it knowing it's unsafe. They have the knowledge that they know it's unsafe and they're still choosing to do it.
No, okay. So I get to that point. I understand you there. But what I disagree with is that The drivers can't be upset with the other person for wrecking them, only just for wrecking them. But if they get hurt, that's NASCAR's fault because they should have built a better race car. That's just my opinion.
How? Wait.
Like,
You can't be mad at them for wrecking you, but you can be mad at them if they injure you.
you cannot be mad if they injure you. It's an injury. I mean, what they have.
But they're putting your life at risk. How can you not be mad at that driver for doing that to you?
If you genuinely think that you're gonna, okay, anytime you get in a race car, you're putting your life at risk. I don't care.
Yes.
Okay. Anytime you can be in an accident at any point. Correct.
Agreed.
So if you get intentionally wrecked, it's the same thing as you getting wrecked in another incident. Okay. You cannot be mad at the other driver, only
But
just for intentionally wrecking you.
They're purposely putting your life in danger instead of it being accidental in a racing incident.
I think I'd be pretty mad.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed. I don't care if I don't get hurt.
Hamlin literally had the same incident with Joey, right? He got wrecked at Auto Club. His back was broken. Was he mad that the back was broken? No.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't. He was mad that he got wrecked.
And he blamed Joey for it. He said he broke my back.
But did he?
It's two different sides here.
Did he physically broke his back?
I think he did.
It's 50-50 in my
drove
opinion.
it in there and said, "I'm gonna break his back."
He remembered what happened the week before. He said, "I'm gonna injure this guy." You cost me a good finish last week. I'm wrecking your ass.
Okay. But my whole point was, it's NASCAR's fault for having the cars to be unsafe. It's not the driver's fault. I understand. Right. I understand that you're putting a competitor at risk. But if you're racing someone hard, you're still putting them at risk. Because they can get loose. They can back themselves into the wall. They can overdrive the corner, bump into you. You're putting yourself at risk as well. So no matter what, I get your point. But I'm saying, if they get mad for getting injured, they can get injured at any point in an accident. Or even, Bowman, he barely backed into the wall. He had a concussion, right?
One other thing to go on.
And that's correct. But at the same time, that also doesn't mean you should
do it.
Maximize the opportunity and make him wreck and hit the wall at the hardest possible point.
No, absolutely. No. What Elliott did was wrong. Like 110%. Right. That was not my out of that whole thing. That was not my point. I just was like, he was like, well, what if he injured him? He would have been really upset. I was like, no, that's not his fault for injuring him.
But why would the driver not be upset? The driver would be upset that you broke my back.
If he was upset that you, sorry.
You partially caused my damage to my body. Like, I'm gonna be mad.
So with that being said, even though this is a little bit different, do you think Almirola blames Logano and Danica for him breaking his back?
Absolutely not.
No, definitely not.
I'd probably blame Danica.
I'd blame Danica because she's a shitty driver and shouldn't be out there. That's probably NASCAR's fault at the same time for letting her race. But no, that's a totally different situation.
So who do you blame on that? Wall. Kansas?
I blame at that point the angle of impact, the car, possibly.
You blame NASCAR.
Physics.
You blame.
Do you blame Kurt for getting loose and giving himself a concussion that basically ended his career?
I would probably blame.
Yeah, hold on to your shit, bro. Like.
Danica.
Yeah, no, you.
Danica. God damn.
I can't believe you did this to me.
You weren't even around me. You just scared me.
No, but yes.
Is that the C for Brokeback Mountain behind you?
What?
What? Not you.
I'm so confused.
Okay, move on. What was your point, Dylan?
I don't even know what we're saying.
I don't. Yeah, good job, Mitch.
Well, anyways.
Well, I got another thing. One thing that doesn't help, which I think the spotters did. Well, it's about spotters when the drivers get wrecked. One thing that doesn't help usually is the spotters instigate the drivers. They say, where it's totally accidental. When the spotter, if he's paying attention on his driver and sees the guy racing side by side with somebody underneath him, and he gets loose and wrecks him, the spotter, most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, will instigate the driver and tell the driver he did that shit intentionally when the driver clearly got loose. I think that's something that doesn't help also with like rivalries and even things that at this point. That spotters did a good job. Like Eddie DeHaan, pretty sure spotter for Chase.
Yeah.
He did a good job. He's like, Chase asked what happened, and Eddie was like, I don't. To be honest, I don't totally know. I'd have to look back at it. He didn't just say like he did back in whenever Hamlin asked Pat shit out of Chase at Martinsville. He didn't just say, yeah, he completely just drove in there and wrecked you. It looked then he definitely did at that time, but the spotters do not help in instigating the drivers to get mad and say something stupid on camera or get payback the next week when it's clearly not intentional.
You know what spotter who instigates Brett. What's his last name?
Griffin.
Yeah, Brett Griffin. Oh, dude, that guy gets on my last nerve. I'm sorry.
I like Brett.
Like, I like him on Twitter. I think he's a funny guy. But when he's spotting, he'll be like, "Yeah, he bumped you." I'm like, "Yeah, but like you're like running 10 times my." Like he spotted for Clint, so he was obviously running 10 miles per hour slower than the rest of the field. You know?
Wow.
So like
Clint hate, man. Come on now.
No, I'm just kidding. But
no, you're not. It's the truth, you know.
Huh?
How do you think he's gonna do in SRX?
Who?
Clint.
I didn't even know he was racing, but
everybody is.
I think he'll do fine. He's a short track driver to heart. That's why I think he was good at Martinsville, in Richmond and stuff like that.
Good gate, you know, he's good at that.
Hampshire.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he'll do okay. I think he'll win a race.
Have you not seen the list?
No, I mean I know Keselowski, Stewart, you know.
Harvick's doing a couple. Kane's doing a couple. Kenseth, Newman.
Yeah.
It's stacked this year.
It really is, yeah.
Doesn't it start this month?
June?
July,
something.
I think.
I thought
July.
It was, yeah. Probably.
Anyways, well, long story short,
Danny.
You know, I want to shout out to two different types of people this week. Blaney for one, getting the win, coming back from a winless streak. He literally dominated the race. That was his first race that he led over 100 laps and actually won. The first 11 races that he led over 100 laps, he never won. That's such a terrible stat. But
I didn't even know he led 1,000 laps in his career. That's impressive.
Yeah. No, he actually, there's a comparison from him and Kevin Harvick to the first 7 seasons. They're the exact same, which is wild. But
so once Blaney leaves Penske, he's winning a championship.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, he needs to go.
SHR. Don't do that to yourself, Blaney. It's not worth it.
No, I could actually see Blaney go into like a new team.
Calling.
Yeah, and then like actually performing, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, shout out to Blaney. That's a long time coming for him for sure. Coke 600 win. That's a really good win. Honestly, he really marketed it after winning. He was on 3 podcasts that was not related to NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
He also was on the Dale Jr. Download as well.
Which wasn't planned.
And then he also just announced this week that his podcast is coming back, The Glass Case of Emotion. So that's great. All in all, a great week for Blaney. I'm happy for him because I think he's a really cool guy. I mean, my wife likes him, so I kind of feel like I have to. But no,
got some competition.
Yeah. And then also the 24 pit crew. I will say, okay. Before we say it was the line. Yes, the line was a little close. Don't get me wrong, but all year they've been the number one pit crew, and truly, honestly, they haven't missed a beat. And I think that just goes to show like they're making a difference for Byron in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying his driving ability isn't there, but like they are literally putting him to the next level of being able to be consistently up in the top fives, winning races and stuff like that. So I just want to get a shout out to them. But that's all I had. Sick. Right on. What do y'all give the race? Like a rank 1 to 10?
8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. That the last 100 laps kind of, normal cup race these days.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned shit show.
I would say I'd say 8, maybe a 7.9. Like just because
it wants to be different.
Just because there was with the 400 lap stages, it's so predictable. I wish they did not have each 100 laps because you do the exact same thing from the first stage to the last stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish it wasn't predictable, but I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, if there were no stage cautions, that with all the cautions and the weird spots they had him in, that would have been a really
my
good
dog
race.
Chase, Diddy's a bitch.
Is that Hunter?
Yeah.
You know what we forgot? Bubba versus Amarola.
Oh yeah. Yeah, shit. Go say it, dumb boy. Why not?
What?
What the hell were they? What do you think they even happened? Like,
Bubba, what happened between them on the track?
yeah.
Bubba and Amarola racing hard, and I guess Bubba didn't like how Amarola was racing, so he passed him. He gave him the bird, and Amarola didn't like that too much, and he came up to him. And after when the red flag happened, and they were talking casually, and then I guess Bubba started using some not so nice words towards Amarola, colorful language, and Amarola shoved him. That's about all that happened. Nothing happened back on the track after the race. Some words were exchanged. Bubba called Amarola two-faced after the race. Amarola said he expected that from Bubba because he acts like a child, which is true. I don't really think it's nothing. Two back markers, so. Maybe not Bubba.
Yeah, I was
a little too disrespectful to Bubba, but Amarola, he knows the place.
Yeah,
so.
Bubba's actually really been doing good this year.
4 top fives in a row. So sorry, Bubba, I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. It's not very nice of me.
Daryl
Wallace.
So. Darrell.
Darrell.
I wonder if he likes just being called Bubba. Maybe we should get him on the podcast and ask him.
Yeah,
ask him the tough questions.
I don't think he'll come on our podcast.
Definitely will not.
I think he could.
I don't think he would.
I think he could.
I
don't think he would.
I don't think Ryan.
I think we could get Blaney.
Kevin Harvick.
That'd be great.
I would. Oh, dude, I would fanboy like crazy.
Yeah. I'd be like.
Yeah, get Dale Jr. on the podcast. You want to blow this shit up?
Dude, that'd be awesome. You gotta get Junior. Start making some calls, man.
I know. I really gotta start networking.
Little review for the Monaco GP. I picked the field over Verstappen. Yeah, I was wrong. Alonso I think could have won it. Nothing happened. The recap, boom, nothing. Verstappen won, pulled away. If Alonso didn't pit before the rain came, he probably would have been right with Verstappen. He was catching him before the rain came, and he pitted for slicks, and then right after, everybody pitted for inners because he was told it wasn't wet enough, and he was contemplating it on the radio, but they told him to come and pit, so he had to pit again. So he pitted basically one more time and ended the race around 25, 27 seconds, so he would have been a couple seconds off of Verstappen if he didn't pit an extra time. That's basically what happened there. IndyCar, Verstappen won. IndyCar, I just know Newgarden won, and a tire went into the parking lot. Did not injure anybody, just injured a car, but Roger Penske did pay to replace the car. That's about last lap pass, I think, in the IndyCar race.
Yeah,
Questionable.
actually, yeah, it was a questionable
Dangerous
caution.
move, people said.
Because so IndyCar does not do like green white checkers. They don't do overtime. They just run the distance. Instead of throwing the caution after the wreck, after a certain wreck, they threw the red flag, and so that they could restart the race. But technically, Marcus Ericsson, was the leader at that moment when they threw that red flag caution. And realistically, he should have won the Indy 500.
Yeah,
because
I thought everyone was gonna call it.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because they kind of gave away the Indy 500 to someone else, because when you start as the leader, the draft, you're not winning, so you're gonna just get sucked around after the first lap and a half. You can't gain that back. So
Some people said it was also dangerous at the end because they went right on cold tires. So you can't turn on cold tires, so you don't get the grip you usually do.
yeah,
So that was dangerous, but I think everybody made it out okay in the race. Somebody did get injured in practice. I do not remember their name, but he's okay making a recovery, and hopefully we'll be back soon.
Tony Kanaan passing the grass too.
yeah.
With that tire flying out there, it's a good thing that it didn't go anywhere, else, because it was freaking flying. Like it was
Over
gonna
the
hurt.
grandstand. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
If it fell short, it would have hit where the concessions were. So
yeah,
sure
I mean
that
that thing was moving. Like it could have
Sure, you're
caused
overpriced hot dogs.
damage. It could have been really bad. So it's a good thing that it flew where it did and just ended up in a car.
Yeah.
It's a plus for the person's car it hit. They got a new one. Everybody was okay. The tire was retrieved.
I'm sure they're probably got a little bit more than just a new one.
They got a hearty handshake.
Right. They definitely got a Ford as a replacement.
They probably got a brand new car. They probably
I don't
took
know.
that car home as well.
No, they run
They probably
Chevys
got
and Indy.
tickets for next year's Indy 500.
Got to kiss the
And
bricks.
they got tickets to bricks. You never know.
Yeah, I mean,
They definitely got
Everything.
tickets for next year though. And this time the tire will hit them.
Yeah, they'll make sure of it.
oh my god.
They say, I'm sorry we missed you. Come back next year. We'll give it another go.
Everyone's gonna try and park in that spot now.
Lucky spot. All right. We doing viewership next?
Yeah, you can do viewership, and then we'll talk about Briscoe and get into the picks.
Viewership was
oh,
ass
well.
because the race was split between a whole week.
I mean, it wasn't
It
terrible
wasn't that
for a
bad.
Monday.
It wasn't that bad.
You want me
Did
to
you see
say
it?
IndyCar and
Yeah,
MotoGP
do all of it.
first?
Do all of it, yeah.
All right. So NBC Sports says that Sunday's Indy 500 averaged 4.92 million viewers on NBC and Peacock, up 2% from last year. Was it on Peacock last year? Does anybody know?
Well, like, it's always streamed on Peacock and...
I didn't know if they did. Yeah.
No, yeah.
ABC, the Monaco GP was on ABC Network, and most of them are usually not on ABC unless the American races, like Miami or COTA or now Las Vegas. But this one was on ABC, and they got a 0.89 rating and 1.79 million viewers for Sunday's F1 Monaco Grand Prix, up from the 0.76 rating and the 1.4 million viewers they had last year. And that race was on ESPN. So, like I said before, in total with the pre-race show, it got 1.518 million viewers. So it's not bad. Almost 2 million. That's not bad for F1. And then the Coca-Cola 600 obviously delayed until Monday. If it was on Sunday, we would have some massive viewership probably. But Fox got 3.4 million viewers for Monday's rescheduled NASCAR Cup Series race at Charlotte for the Coke 600. Last year's race was ran on time and got 3.869 million viewers. Thoughts on that, Dylan?
That's not too bad.
I mean, last year's went the longest ever, so I'm sure
This no,
people
that was
tuned
the
out from
second
that too.
longest ever.
Oh, second longest, yeah, but this
This was 10
generation.
minutes behind it.
Uh,
2019, I think. Was it 2019 the longest? I saw. I don't remember what
Mm-mm.
the stat said.
It was like
2019's
19.
up there. This one's like 10 minutes uh behind the last year's one. But personally, I think that's really good viewership for a Monday. Yes, it is Memorial Day, and most people are off and all that. But if it was rain on Sunday, we could have got some massive viewership. But that's what really sucked. I feel like that's why they should have tried harder to run it on Sunday to because that's your most important race besides like the 500. Yeah, this is your crown
mhm.
jewel, and you want to see if you can't really see if you improved or not. Like you can speculate that yeah they would have got 2% more viewership or something like that, but you can't guarantee that you would have. Maybe this is all they would have gotten if it was on Sunday. Maybe they only got 100,000 more or something. So I feel like this was really important to have run on Sunday because it's your crown jewel. You want to see it's like your baseline. See how much they care about the top race. And if this one shows out, then they're going to care about the next week's race. The next week's race doesn't really help that it's Gateway next, but um,
Uh,
it, I feel like they should have tried harder to have it on Sunday. But all in all, good race, good viewership.
yeah, I will say, um, that's great viewership for a Monday. I do think we would have got more viewers because you got to realize, fast food places are still open on Memorial Day. Uh, you know, drugstores, stuff like that. Like if people still had to work, if you didn't work, a normal, 9 to 5, right? Uh, so you couldn't watch the race, right? Uh, so I do think that you would have gotten more out of it. I don't know how much more. I think we would have hit 4 million, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
and I think that would have been good contending with the Indy 500 because you got to realize 300,000 of those people were at there, right? So like they're not gonna go.
Excuse me.
I mean, that's great. I just thought it was great for a Monday. So
That's really great viewership. Like I said, it doesn't help. We'll put on a
we're
great
gonna
race,
tank
but
this week.
yeah, nobody likes Gateway, and it's on FS1.
And plus, I know some people are gonna boycott this race.
Mhm.
Oh, Chase.
Yeah.
One.
I mean,
fans.
I know one's gonna do it. Hunter just said -1 viewer next week, free Chase.
Free my dog Chase. We gonna go over who's the fill-ins. You want to go over that now, or you want to wait?
Yes, we can just do that, and then
Alright,
we'll go
so
over the L-3 penalty.
well, obviously Chase is suspended for his actions towards Denny Hamlin. Took 600, whether you say it was intentional or not. NASCAR deemed it was intentional. Suspended him for one race. He gets the playoff waiver. Eligibility still there. And Corey LaJoie will be filling in for the 9 team, filling in for Chase Elliott this week. And Carson Hocevar will get his first ever Cup Series start in the number 7 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet. Good for Carson, good for Corey. See if he's the real deal in a good car, or if he's just a Matt DiBenedetto. It's gonna be interesting. I hope Corey does well. Carson, I hope he doesn't wreck anybody. That's really all I'm hoping for him. Just keep the car in one piece, run some laps. He's getting hella opportunities this year. Xfinity
Yeah.
races, he's getting Cup
Mhm.
rides already. I mean, probably
I
they
feel
weren't
like
planning on it yet, but
Gateway fits Carson more than Corey, though. So I wouldn't be surprised if Corey fell farther back than Hocevar.
Yeah. Great for Corey. This is not me. I've texted this with Mitch and DST a couple days ago. I don't know how I feel about another competitor. So hear me out. This is the same driver you're also competing against to make the playoffs. Okay, he is out of the playoffs. There's a chance he could win, right? He would make the playoffs. Well, that eliminates one shot of Chase making the playoffs when he comes back, right? You know,
I mean, he should have been in the car.
hold on. No. That's not my point.
Should have gone snowboarding.
Shouldn't have gone. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Yeah, that was Daddy's fault though. So that he went snowboarding. Yeah.
but I will say, you know, you're putting another competitor who's going to also understand your notes, understand your keywords. You may change them up, obviously, but just the way Hendrick Motorsports runs, which is obviously great, right? They're the best team in the sport. So you're putting another competitor in your vehicle. In my opinion, I think that's wrong. Okay, I would not want to see the same person that you're fighting a championship with or competing against in your equipment for multiple reasons, for just the way, you know, your business model runs, just the way everything is. I just think that's weird. I know David Reagan did it for Kyle Busch in the 18. You know, there's been some. I just always thought it was weird. I think.
I mean, he was with. Sorry, he was with. Come on, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I forgot he wasn't on front row yet.
Yeah. I just. To me, that's just a little weird. That's all I gotta say. I don't know how I like it. I mean, I'm happy for Corey. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a great opportunity. He's a great driver. I've seen him race, you know, ARCA back in the day, and he won a lot of races. So I think he's good. He just never got the chances that everybody else got.
so who's the last driver to fill in and win in Cup? McMurray?
I
Yes.
think so.
I mean, the chances of him
Pretty sure.
winning is, I mean, no offense, he's not winning. Like, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, so it was a super
There goes my.
You never
pick.
know, though. I mean, you never know.
but yes,
Right,
there's
you know,
a
he's
shot,
right. Yeah.
right? But that would also put the 9 in the owners' playoffs, which that's what makes the money, not the drivers. So you know, I understand their point, but that is Chase's sponsors, right? Like it's a different. This is not me being a Chase fan. This is me thinking out. This is out of the box. You know, that's just like the 5 and the 8 situation when Dale Jr. ran the 5 car when Kyle Busch left at Texas, right? That is wrong. That is not okay. I don't care who you are. That's not okay. But but good for Corey, I guess. It's not my decision. I'm sure Chevrolet made this decision. So
For the people probably wondering why is it not Josh Berry, he'll be in Portland
yeah.
for it probably would have been him, but he'll be in Portland for the road course race up there.
Which you know, why not put, you know, experienced drivers already in Cup? Like, okay,
Chevy.
Matt Benedetto would have been a great option, right? He drives a Chevy. You know, he already has driven a Cup car. It just, you know, he's not good, but
Why not call up Jimmy?
He owns a team.
He owns a team, so
Guys,
to me that doesn't matter.
Denny owns a team. He
That's true.
I feel like no.
But
Spire and Hendrick coincide more than Legacy Motor Club, and most of them are moving to Toyota. So how much do they
You
care
know
about
who helped
Chevys right
Spire too, by the way? Chad Knaus. Chad Knaus has
Steve
connections with
Letarte actually
Jimmy.
has part ownership of it.
Steve Letarte too. Yeah, I mean, all the connections are there.
Why not call Dale Jr., you know? Most popular
Yeah,
driver.
You would say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Hey, he'd be like, you guys are.
I don't think he's ever going to run a Cup car. Not in competition, anyway.
He's got what Bristol to prepare for.
Yeah.
Not enough height. I mean, that would be the perfect week to have Dale Jr. No Chase, bring in Jr.
Yeah. Well, for viewerships, I think that would help. Um,
Yeah.
I
Don't
think.
bring in Senior.
Okay. Wow. Too soon.
Talk about someone that's down for the dumps.
I don't think Senior would have been happy with the move Chase just pulled last week.
Bullshit.
Yeah, right.
He wanted to just rattle his cage, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's how Dale died.
No.
Out of tension. No, way different.
No.
With
Sterling
the way
didn't
he-
do it on purpose, though.
the way Hamlin
Wait,
hit the ball.
I don't even think we should go this far.
No.
We should probably.
Dale
I
Sr.
don't
would
know
have
about
pulled the
this.
same move that Elliott would have. Oh, the Elliott did? Okay. And he's done it. Okay. He would have
You're
never
right.
got suspended. He would have never got a points penalty. You know why? Because he's Dale Sr., okay?
Because he wanted to
You're
rattle
right.
his cage, that's why.
But if it was Dale taking the hit, he would have died.
Okay. Alright, let's move on.
So-
But Denny didn't, so he wouldn't in this car.
Okay, that's enough.
But Dale
we're-
would have probably.
we need some control here.
Okay, anyways, go back to
This is getting
going
bad.
back to penalties.
I need one.
Yeah, SHR and the number 14 of Chase Briscoe got a huge penalty.
Sure, so bad.
They've been docked 120 points, both in owner and driver standings. Additional loss of 25 playoff points, negative 25 points, that they don't have. Briscoe and the team, if they qualify for the postseason, is a $250,000 fine and a 6 race points suspension for John Klostermeyer. John, did I say that right?
John, I don't think you pronounced the N. Klostermeyer. I don't think you said Klostenmeyer. Something like Klostermeyer. I don't think you pronounced it. No, nobody does. You don't pronounce the N. I don't think it is what it is. You know what? The good penalty would have been just shut a SHR down. But the fields wouldn't have liked that.
They've given NASCAR like $2 million the past 2 years, so you might as well just shut it down.
Yeah, the field wouldn't like that though. 'Cause it's another easy car to pass.
According to the penalty grid issued by NASCAR, they did multiple sections of the rule book. Section 14.1F, which that is counterfeiting a next-gen single-part source, along with section 14.6A, which is the underwing, and the 14.6.3B, which is the engine panel assembly. The NACA ducts are the single-use supply parts for the next-gen car. It may not be modified or counterfeited. The rule book spells out the location of these ducts on the left and the right side of the windows, which are used to help cool the car. Sorry, I'm dying. Pretty much that was said was, don't mess with, this is from Vice President of Competition, Elton Sawyer. Don't mess with the single source part. This is how I imagine him saying this, okay? Working in these areas we used to do in the next gen car. It's not just going to be accepted with this car, but as we move forward, it's not going to be the culture. We're not going to allow it.
So, I mean, they're pretty much. I don't understand why NASCAR drivers and teams haven't learned yet. They don't want you messing with the car. They don't want you messing with their parts. They don't want you making fake parts. In my opinion, we've seen these penalties that they're willingly handing out left and right. Luckily, Hendricks got theirs a little bit overturned, but a few months back. But I mean, these are season-ending penalties that we are seeing. I'm surprised that we're seeing these issues still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one way.
We're gonna continue to see them, though.
Actually, I get it. Yeah, right. Yeah. But like I said, I mean, I feel like these are season-ending penalties. We're gonna see someone in the right opportunity to win the championship at some point, and they're gonna have a penalty like this, and that's gonna fully take them out of it.
Yeah. Well, with the L3 penalty though, the rule book does state that there's a chance where he is not eligible for the playoffs.
Right.
Um,
I mean, even with that being said, I mean, just the penalty alone is that's extremely hard to recover from.
yeah.
The 25 playoff points alone is hard to. I mean,
I mean, you're not winning a championship.
You need that.
Yeah.
You're down half a race.
Yeah.
That
Well,
plus whatever
even,
Byron gets.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta even think of it like this. You have to win a race in the regular season, you have to win a race in the round of 16, 12, 8. Right? Like you have to win 4 races this season. And Chase Briscoe is not a type of driver to go out there and just win 4 races. Right? Like I'm sorry. Well, I'm not saying he's not that type of driver. He's not on the team driver team all the above right now. They're not there.
The combination isn't there to make that happen.
Now if you go ask Larson and Cliff Daniels, hey, you got to go do this. Well, guess what? They're gonna go do it. That's just the team that they are. And is that all Larson? No. Cliff Daniels is. I mean, no offense.
Team effort.
No offense. Larson wouldn't be winning all these races if it wasn't for Cliff. I mean, Larson's great and all, but he's not what we're seeing, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just like the same way Jimmy Johnson checking house. You know, Jimmy Johnson,
right? He
was good. I mean, he's a great driver, but he wasn't elite until he got with checking house. You know what I'm saying? You know, like if checking house was there, he wouldn't be elite. It's just the same.
Yeah, right, right.
But that's my point is, for one, John's not even going to be there. Yeah, he's going to be in the shop, working at the race car, looking at the race car, being at their support center where they're watching the whole race and texting the guy. But it's different. You're not leading the show,
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to build the culture that you put around your team. It's hard to do that when you're not there. And so I think, obviously, I didn't think the 14 was going to make the playoffs. He was, in the first place, just the way they've been running. Yeah, he was only negative 2 points from the cutoff line before this penalty. Now he's negative 122 points, which is, I mean, you're literally down there with freaking Ty Dillon. So, like, you're not.
EJ McLeod, baby.
Alex Bowman missed 4 races and he's in the playoffs.
To make the playoffs is absolutely a must-win situation.
Yeah, and I think that's.
And even then,
both Chases.
most likely, yeah.
Beforehand, I thought Chase was able to point his way in, but just where he was at. But since he only got 3 points at last week, and plus he only gets 0 this week, that's 2 weeks that got eliminated from him, gaining points in the bubble. So, I think both the Chases have to do a must win from here on.
And it's not even like they adjusted on the part. It wasn't even NASCAR's part.
Yeah, it was even their own thing. Like
and I think the penalty is definitely adjusted. It sucks because for them they got to be really down right now because they full out cheated. They know what they did. They're not appealing it. They have until Monday to officially decide if they're appealing or not. They're not appealing it. Scott Zimbelli, VP of competition or whatever, he said they're not appealing it. I don't think you can appeal it. I mean, if it's that obvious, it didn't even help you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not helping. Like whatever they're doing, it's not helping. So who cares? Like at that point, you're like, okay, let's restart. This is Daytona. Next week is Daytona for them. Okay, and they know that they have 10 weeks pretty much to go out there and go bust their ass. That's what it's gonna. That's literally what it is. And go win a race. And don't care about points. Don't go for stage wins. Don't And he's a great road course racer. We still have Indy road course to come. I'm sure he's gonna do well there. Yeah, go get that checker flag. Like that's that is the reset mind that they gotta have to have just to even make the playoffs. And
Sonoma street race.
Yeah, the
street race is probably AJ.
Yeah, that's 1 of 3. Yeah.
Y'all are tripping if y'all think a Michael Jordan car is not winning that weekend.
No, You know who's going to really win that weekend?
The fans.
E.
BJ McLeod.
Kurt Busch. But going back to... No, it's going to be with the 91 Trackhouse car. Whoever's that is, that's winning.
Kimi Räikkönen.
Nah. Is that...
Jordan Taylor.
Wait, that was Trackhouse. I'm an idiot. I was thinking 91. Oh, yeah, 91. You said that, right?
Dumbass.
I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
was just confused. I didn't know if that was already announced. That's why I was like, is it?
No. I'm just talking out my ass.
They won't
No,
announce after another.
it'll probably be like a super cross guy or like a
Travis Pastrana.
no God no.
I mean,
That's the one sport that man sucked at.
Yeah, but he did
That's
okay at Daytona.
He was a wheel
He was-
man. He could.
it was decent at Daytona for what
he's-
his car was.
He's a wheel man, just not made for ovals.
He spun every qualifying session, but you bet he didn't touch a wall.
Literally, you're not lying.
2 weeks in a row. I know at least 2 weeks in a row. he
Oh,
crashed
all
every
the time,
qualifying.
2 weeks in a row.
He just wanted to put on a show. He didn't care about where we finished.
All right, well, it's about to hit 10 o'clock, and we are got an hour and 5 minutes into the show. So I think we should go on to our race picks this
I
weekend.
agree.
Oh yay!
Heck yeah.
Want me to read off trucks?
Actually, hold on 1 second. Sorry. I don't remember who's all racing this weekend.
I'll do trucks.
Piss off, dog. I called it.
Go ahead.
Alright,
Go ahead.
Oh, now I'm refreshing myself. Who's racing?
Oh,
What's
damn.
Finley?
All right, Clyde Greenfield, nice. All right, the trucks are at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the Toyota 200. 160 laps, 200 miles. The weather looks good all weekend, which is nice. On FS1, June 3rd, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have stuck in, Mitchell?
Josh Rayum.
Okay. Dunboy?
Matty D.
Dylan?
This guy's kind of been in the dumps for a couple weeks. I think he'll stay that way. Zane Smith.
That's right, yeah. I'll go Bailey Curry. All right, who's gonna have a good run, Mitchell?
I'm gonna go with Norm Binney.
Wow. All right, Dunboy.
Haley Deegan.
Yeah, that's every week. Dylan?
I'm gonna go Dean Thompson. I think he did. What?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Damn it! Well, it
No,
doesn't matter.
go. I'll switch.
No. It doesn't matter. It just. No, he ran really good last week and in the ARCA race last week. So I think he'll do good.
Screw it. I'll go him too. Dean Thompson. He was really good last week. I was shocked to see how good he was last week, but he was good. Who's gonna win, Mitchell?
Nick Sanchez.
Dunboy?
Corey Heim.
Dylan?
Corey Hab.
I got Grant Infinger. He's solid.
Solid.
Solidly trash every week.
All right. Xfinity, you got it.
Yeah. Xfinity race at Portland, Saturday, June 3rd, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. It's the Pacific Office of Automation 147, 75 laps, 147 miles. You can catch it on FS1 and or MRN if you like listening to the radio. Who you got for your side pick, Damon?
Ooh, Dylan Lumpton's racing. All right. My stuck pick. I mean, it's clear and obvious. Brandon Jones. Dude's a scrub.
Valid. TCD.
Jeb Burton.
Dylan.
Joe Graff Jr.
I'm gonna go with Mike Snyder as my second pick.
Ooh.
Who do you got having a good run, Damon?
Jeremy Clements.
DCD.
Parker Kligerman.
Could see it. Dylan.
I think it's going to be Jordan Taylor with a good run
Yep.
this week.
I can see that. I'm gonna go with Sammy Smith. I think he's gonna have a pretty good run this week. Who do you got winning, Damon?
I think he does it. I think Riley Herbst wins.
DCD.
Jordan Taylor.
Keep hating, guys. All right, I love it. Give him a pep talk.
Dylan.
Parker Kligerman.
Now who's laughing?
Me.
That's a good pick.
I had a lot of trouble choosing. I'm gonna have to go with Sheldon Creed.
I like it.
Now who's the joke?
Now, who's the
AJ
Jew?
Allmendinger.
Is he He's not racing.
No.
He is racing. The Glen, I think. It was just announced. He's racing an Xfinity race. It's like the
No, really?
street course or what the fuck? Does Xfinity do the street course? Yeah, he might be doing the street course or the. I don't know.
Sonoma.
No. They don't do Sonoma. Oh, wait, they do Sonoma. Xfinity does Sonoma?
I guess now. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, sorry. You go on.
The Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday. For Sunday, June 4th, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, FS1 MRN. It is the Enjoy Illinois 300 presented by Ticket Smarter. Who's gonna suck, David?
Harrison Burton.
Dylan,
AJ Allmendinger.
Mitch,
That would
Ryan
hit the
Preece.
heartstrings.
so Ryan Preece.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with last year's winner, Joey Logano.
I almost said the same.
Who needs a good run?
I think Kevin Harvick has a good run. It's a flat track, kind of like Phoenix. They have to get the setup right. They've been dominant on short tracks this year.
DCD,
Martin Truex.
Mitch,
Watermelon Man.
I'm gonna go Corey LaJoie. I'm not saying that he's gonna have a good run. I'm saying he needs to have a good
Top
run.
15.
Yeah, just because this is what he's been saying. He says, if I get my shot, I can show you what I can do.
All right. He needs to take advantage of it.
And who's gonna win, David?
Going ballsy with my picks. Chase Briscoe gets it done.
Oh God.
He was faster last year.
Not fast enough.
He said I gotta make up some
DCD?
money.
Yeah.
Ross Chastain.
I got business to handle.
Hey, payback. And Mitch.
Ryan Blaney. Gonna go back to back.
I almost did that, but I'm gonna go with so far out of the bar.
Carson Hocevar.
No. I think Todd Gilliland gets it done.
Did you say Todd Gillen?
Yes, and I have my reasons. So the 34 Michael McDowell literally led an 80 of laps last year. Okay.
80 of laps.
I didn't know how many laps it was, so that's why I was like, he led 80 laps, and I think,
Did he really?
yeah, I think Todd's gonna do a little bit better, and I actually think that he's gonna be really good this week. This is his style track, so.
My Xfinity pick's looking pretty good now, boys, isn't it?
I think mine's better, but I almost went the same route DCD did with Xfinity. I wanted to.
I just think this coverage is about to be a wreck fest. I don't know why.
I
It would
agree.
be a snoozer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Can't pass here.
Can't pass her.
Can't
Well,
pass anywhere.
Hey, you can't pass them. Wreck them.
You know where you can pass though?
Yeah, that's what Chase did.
SRX.
yeah, I'm gonna pass up on that. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. We had 11 different viewers tonight, so that was really cool to see.
My Twitter works.
Thank you guys.
We've had a consistent viewers of 3 all night, so that's great. Thank y'all for tuning in, and
And one of them's probably drunk.
one of them is probably drunk. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget, next week we'll be here again for the same, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe
For
9.
the same thing that we do.
Same thing we do every week.
Yep. Tell your grandma.
Tell your
That
grandma.
would be final podcast before NBC.
Oh,
Technically,
yes.
it's the week after.
Dude, my phone just sent me a notification. First day of LGBTQ plus Pride Month. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Probably stop the stream before we talk about this.
That's perfect for Chase fans.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say that too at the beginning when he said he had his Chase gear on. I was like, look, he's showing out for his month.
Yeah. Hunter said, love y'all, F Denny. Hunter also said, great show, miss y'all, I'll miss Chase. That's for show. That's for
Yeah.
show. No, but, yeah, for sure. Don't forget to tell your grandmas, enjoy the week. Hopefully this weekend's a good racing. And, what's next week? What's the week?
Sonoma.
Sonoma.
Oh, God.
Hey Jay.
Till he blows it up.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Or runs out of fuel going up.
You
turn
know what's
one.
going to happen? Chase
Tell
is
you right
coming
now.
back. And
I mean, let's be honest. He was going to win last year.
Hey, someone's gonna send him into turn 11 like Brian Vickers did Tony Stewart, and Chase Elliott's gonna end up with a
Listen,
broken back.
turn 11, Denny Hamlin's
All right,
number
anyways,
11.
I'll see y'all later. We're at the stream here. Peace out.